Chimney Sweep – Dangerous Jobs in History. Chimney sweepers, as the name implies, had the job of climbing up into narrow chimneys to clean the ash and soot away. Without this maintenance, chimneys could catch fire. The job had been around for some time, but it wasn't until the 18th century that the demand really increased, with the rise of urbanization and the Industrial Revolution. And as fireplaces were the source of heat for most homes, the job was in high demand. Master sweeps took on apprentices known as climbing boys. Children became the preferred person for the job of chimney sweep due to their small size, which made it possible for them to climb into the stone chimneys. These climbing boys were poor and recruited from workhouses and orphanages. Sometimes they were kidnapped by the chimney sweepers or sold to them by their parents. The climbing boy had to climb up chimneys with a large flat brush over his head, using his elbows and knees to move up like a caterpillar. He also had a metal scraper to take away tougher bits. The nastiest of masters would prod the climber or start the fireplace to terrify the climbing boy into working faster. Once they reached the top of the chimney, they would slide down and bag up all the soot at the bottom to take away. When they climbed up, the climbing boy's elbows and knees were often scraped raw, and they would be covered in calluses. The job was also claustrophobic because of the narrow chimneys, sometimes so narrow that the climbing boy could become stuck with their knees close to their chin. If a layer of soot fell while they were trapped like this, they could die from suffocation or burned alive if the chimney caught alight. There were also long-term effects of repeated exposure to the inside of chimneys. Inhaling the poisonous soot, dust, and smoke caused irreversible lung damage and disease, which would eventually cause death. Their joints could also become deformed from staying in cramped positions for so long. There was no pay for climbing boys, which was taken by the master sweep. Instead, they were given food and a place to sleep. Because of the narrow construction of chimneys, younger children were used, sometimes as young as 4. By the time they were 10, they were usually too tall. The climbing boys were purposely kept malnourished, so their stunted growth would enable them to keep doing the job. In 1803, a new mechanical brush was invented as an alternative, but chimney sweeps and their clients still preferred to use climbing boys to do the job. In Britain in 1840, a law was passed which made it illegal for any person under 21 to climb a chimney, and raised the minimum age of apprenticeship to 16, although it was mostly ignored. A Chimney Sweepers Act passed in 1875, which required sweeps to be licensed, and made it the duty of the police to enforce it, finally putting an end to child chimney sweeps.
Subscribe for more history videos.